Beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and My name is Lana Zielinski and I work in the spirit dimensions. And as always in all my videos, simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I wanted to share with you an experience that I had today. I had a visit from one of my spirit guides, Estrid. Now, there is a video up on the channel with a little bit more history on Estrid, but Estrid is my naked Viking spirit guide. She does show up when I really need a good talking to. And usually it's to kind of take a deeper look within and to kind of get a little bit more raw and naked. So I was going about my business this morning and I was a little bit behind schedule as I'm getting ready to prepare for some Zoom sessions, and I got an email. And I read the email really quickly and I used a phrase that many of us do use on occasion. I threw up my hands in the air and I went, "It is what it is." And as soon as the words were out of my mouth, Estrid showed up. She showed up right in front of me and she says, "It is what it is." Why are so many people using this phrase all the time? Now, "it is what it is" isn't something that I say often, but I do say it. I do say it. Sometimes it is what it is. And sometimes things are what they are. And I understand that perspective 100%. It is what it is. Estrid says to me, "Lana, it is what you perceive it to be." And I took a big breath in and I said, it is what I perceive it to be. I repeated it back to her. And she said, "So take a look at what you're having a knee-jerk reaction to. And you're saying it is what it is. Perhaps it is what it is, but what's your perception of it?" And the conversation kind of went around in a little bit of a circle, a little bit of a puzzle, if you will. She said, "Take a deeper look." So I sat with it for just a moment and I had that aha moment. Yeah, it is what it is, but there's something more to that. My perception of what it is also entangled in the statement, "it is what it is." It is what it is, but there's also something there for me to learn from. There's something for me to grow from. What vibration do I want to use that statement in? So I looked at myself and I thought, yeah, there's a lesson in this for me. And yes, the lesson itself, maybe it is what it is, but am I going to choose to grab at the lesson in full alignment with learning it, even if it's difficult and even if it's going to cause me some uncomfort? Sometimes it is what it is, pulls us out of our comfort zone. And what Estrid said is sometimes the is what it is, your perception of what that is, you can be missing a very key message, Lana. You can be missing a very key learning opportunity. And yes, there are times where the whole "it is what it is" to teach us not to pick up what's not ours. But to be able to recognize that lesson and to be able to acknowledge it is what it is. I can't change it, but I can change my perception of what that is. I can change how I'm looking at it, from what point of alignment that I'm looking at it. I cannot change what's happening, but I can change my perception on how I'm reacting to it. And I think for the most part, I do fairly well with aligning to that. But what Estrid said next was kind of interesting. She said, a lot of catchphrases in spirituality are being used without tapping into where's the spiritual growth and what are you aligning to. And there are a lot of spiritual catchphrases that many of us do use. It is what it is one of them. It is what it is, but what else is in there and how are you perceiving that? So when I sat with my own knee-jerk reaction moment to the "it is what it is," Estrid was right. It was my perception of what it was. And yes, something may not have worked out the way I had thought it might have, but my perception on just writing that off as "it is what it is," I would have missed something delicious, because when I changed my perception to what was going on, there was a very big reason for why it was what it was. And I think that when we pull away from that, and if we use some catchphrases just to kind of make us feel good, or just to kind of help us put it down without going deeper into what's our perception of it and where is the lesson, and I can leave it down, but I need to just kind of be a little bit more open to what learning is meant to happen here. It is what it is. It is what you perceive it to be. And I'm really grateful that Estrid showed up out of nowhere today to remind me of that, because we all need reminders. I think it's really important on a spiritual journey to be able to acknowledge that there's always room for growth. There's always room for changing that mindset. There's always room for shifting that awareness. And I think that every single one of us does really well when we're guided and supported, and when we're given that support from the spirit dimensions to be able to tap into a whole new perspective. It is what you perceive it to be. And if what you perceive it to be is to just leave it down, or if you perceive it to be a lesson or an opportunity for growth, for development, you know, if it was meant to show you something, I was meant to, yeah, it is what it is, but I really needed to see that. It gives you an extra step on your spiritual growth. And I think when we kind of tap into whatever it is that it is with what else is the narrative, what else do I perceive it to be, I think it helps keep us moving forward in our spiritual growth. Because I think, you know, the other word that's used quite a bit is I'm stuck. I'm stuck. You know, your perception is that you're stuck, because you're physically not stuck. You may be having a hard time. It may be difficult to move forward. It may be difficult to understand it. Yes, there are things that are very hard on our journey, 100%. We all have a story. We've all walked some hard times. But when we tap into that alignment of growth, it's teaching me something. It is what it is, but I'm learning. You see the difference there? And I'm really glad that Estrid stepped in this morning to give me that reminder, because I think that had she not, I probably would have stayed in that arms up, it is what it is, and miss that opportunity for growth. And you know what I say, the lesson will be repeated until we learn it. So, and when I looked back at my reaction to that, I can see how that would have gained some momentum for my personal learning. So it is what it is, but it's also what you perceive it to be. I am wishing you, as always, love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day.